All right, y'all, thanks for clicking on this video. I wanted to do another intro to this video because I've already shot it and already filmed it, but I just want to talk real fast about the content of this video. Everybody is from different walks of life, and I was really hesitant about releasing this video. And the reason for that was simply because, you know, people just seem to get angry when they see other people spending money or spending more money than they can, or spending money in a way that they don't approve of. You know what? I love bass fishing. It's my passion. I don't do anything else. I don't watch football, basketball, baseball, all that. I don't care about that stuff. I care about bass fishing, and that is what this channel is about. And this video is about helping people who want to own their own boat, because I would love for somebody to watch this video and then just to start thinking afterwards to be like, man, you know what? If I sat down and really nitty gritty picked out the details of everything that I'm spending, man, I could actually have a boat. I could have that $10,000, that tracker, that, you know, maybe that Skeeter, maybe that Phoenix, whatever boat you want. You know, maybe you realize that you're spending money on all these other things, and you can reallocate those funds and actually achieve a goal, achieve something that you really want and would make you really happy. Because that's what I did. I cut down on tons of things. I, you know, reallocated funds so that I could do the things that I wanted to this year. I didn't go to tournaments. I didn't travel as much. You know, I stayed at home a lot. I'm not going to the national championship because of all that. So, you know, there were sacrifices made. Also, I'm going to do a collab with a FLW Tour Pro on this same exact topic. We're going to talk about your gas expenses, your lodging, all of that in that video so that you can get an idea. Again, this is about helping people. This is not bragging. I'm a poor country boy. That's how I grew up, East Texas. You know, I'm not that type of person. So I hope you enjoy this content. Please look at it like a learning experience for everyone. And, you know, thanks for watching. Alrighty, y'all, Lou here from Beyond the Bounds. This is a channel geared towards bass fishing and gear reviews. So if you like that sort of thing, click that subscribe button up top. Let's get into today's topic, talking about how much I spent on bass fishing in 2017. Okay, guys, you know that I do things differently on my channel. I share a lot of nitty-gritty details with you guys. You know, I went over the whole process of buying my boat. This is actually part of that process of buying a boat. It's understanding your financials, knowing where you stand financially so that you can afford a boat. With fishing, I mean, there are so many things that go into running a bass boat, trailering that bass boat, going to tournaments, buying equipment, lodging, meals. There are so many things that just add up throughout the year. Next, I want to say that this is not a bragging by any means. I am not that kind of person. I am bringing this to you as educational material. It's something that I can educate you on, and especially those who are out there aspiring to become professional bass anglers. You know, not a lot of people are going to put this type of information out there saying, oh, I spent X amount and so forth. And that's why I want to bring this to you, because you might be out there thinking, you know what, one day I want to be a professional FLW angler, a bass angler, and I hope that you can achieve that. And I want to be able to give you this information to help you ready yourself for that, because you don't just go to a lake and just start fishing. No, you ready yourself for that. You tie things on before you get out there. You get rigged up. Preparation is key. So that's why I'm doing this video. I really want to give you nitty-gritty details. I've rambled on about this long enough. Let's get into the details of what I spent this year. Right now, my current total is sitting at around $12,000, and this is something that's excluding my boat purchase, excluding insurance costs on the boat, excluding truck insurance, so forth. Now, this was actually kind of a light year for me, and that number of a 12,000, that's pretty low in comparison to what some of these other people are doing. Some of the people who are running Costa events and you know, running their boats at BFLs and doing all kinds of tournaments. Again, I didn't fish a lot this year. I I cut back a lot this year because I was trying to pay off my truck. That was an $18,000 debt that I needed to pay off. I also built my garage. That's another significant chunk of money right there. You don't build those for cheap, especially in this area. So, you know, I expended a lot of money just doing those things, readying myself for getting my boat and being able to set myself up financially so that I could afford that boat and afford it with, you know, not a care in the world about making the payments. So yeah, I spent $12,000 on bass fishing this year for receipts that I kept. And I categorized those too between different, and I'll separate them out here, between different categories. So, wow, that really messed up the lighting there. And the categories that I used were fuel, lodging and admin kind of going together, and I'll explain what admin is, and equipment. So equipment is going to be all of my purchases for the boat. I'm talking anything that I went to Home Depot for to add as a purchase, baits, lures, you name it. If it went into that category, rods, reels, and that's a substantial category at the end of the year too. Lodging expenses, again, I didn't travel as much this year so that I could build my garage and so that I would have those funds to pay off my truck because I paid that down rapidly. Again, I started this year off February, owed $18,000 on it, and by like August, I think, or something like that, I was able to pay off my truck by just not going to tournaments like I would normally had done in previous years. Previous years, I was going almost every weekend, staying at hotels, staying at campsites, you name it, that's what I was doing. So I cut back on a lot of that. I cut back on eating out. And believe it or not, even though my equipment category came out to about $4,000 in equipment expenditures, I still cut back on that a lot. I am not a tackle junkie by any means. I buy something and I keep replacing that as I lose it. I don't have, you know, 15 different spinner baits. I have one spinner bait that I really like, maybe a couple other small ones, but other than that, I don't keep buying new ones to try new ones out. I just replace the ones that I lose, and I replace things as I need them. You know, I don't buy 50 packs of creature baits because I can always get creature baits as I go along in the colors that I need. So yeah, so that total right there for equipment was around $4,000. My lodging and admin expenses, which includes, again, lodging, going to pick up my boat, staying multiple nights at tournaments, the national championship for kayaking, all that kind of is included in there. Administrative fees like licensing fees, boat launch fees. I mean, every time I launch my boat on the Potomac, it's been costing me about $8. So again, all of this adds up, and the reason I'm bringing this to you too is because I think you should do the same thing. I think it's good to track these kind of things because this will put you in that position of knowing, you know what, $60,000, $80,000 bass boat, yeah, I got that. I can cover that. And you know, that's a good feeling when you can knowingly do that and not have a care in the world about covering that. I pay already double on that bass boat for what I owe. That's why I'm going through this, so that you can prep yourself and maybe look at, hey, somebody else is doing that, you know, I can do that too. When I'm out on the road, I'm keeping receipts for everything, for gas, you name it. I'm keeping receipts for all of that. And that actually leads me to my biggest expenditure. So whereas I had lodging at about $2,000, equipment around $4,000. My fuel was my biggest expense. The rough number for this, and I'm giving just rounded numbers, but the rough number for it was about $6,700 in fuel. Now that might seem like a lot to you. That might seem like a blessing if you're running an FLW or some of these other events, because although I haven't done those yet, in the future, I hope to do them. I hope to move to the front of the boat for BFLs and just kind of grow as an angler and just see where it goes. This is helping me prepare for that eventuality. And eventually when I get to that, I know that that fuel cost is gonna more than triple. Because you got to think that these guys are out there, they're driving their trucks, you know, hauling boats 12, you know, sometimes 24 hours, sometimes 48 hours to get to a fishing destination. Then they're going to run their boats for an entire week. That's a lot of fuel So the fuel costs are really going to be one of your biggest expenditures. Sponsorships and all that can come in and help you with the equipment side of the house. You can get those sponsorships and field staff positions, and that'll help you control your cost on that part. You know, fuel is always going to be that big expense that you need to prep for because it definitely seeing this number is as high as it is on a year that I fished less, on a year that I traveled a whole lot less, and on a year that I didn't purchase my boat till, I think, was that September time frame. So, you know, for most of the year, I wasn't dragging around a boat that cost me a quarter of a tank of gas every, 30 to an hour trip that I take. You know, that's something to consider, especially when you're purchasing a boat. That was one of the things that Fluke Master said in his video that really, about his new Alumacraft, that really hit home with me because, you know, he made the comparison that, listen, I travel a lot, and hauling around a big, heavy fiberglass boat just isn't what I want or need because I have to control costs. And hauling around a boat like that is gonna be less wear and tear on your vehicle, but it's gonna cost you less in gas because it's lighter. So that's a consideration that if you're looking to purchase your first bass boat, maybe aluminum is the way to go. Guys, I hope revealing these kind of numbers helps you out. If you have any questions about them, drop them down in the comments section below. I'll try to answer as many as I can. Just do what you love what you do, and keep fishing. So as always, thanks for watching. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. Y'all have a good one.